Hello guys, Leech here. So we got a patch note for 0.5. It's not a very long patch note, but there's a few things that are very fundamental change. So let's get through it. The first one is player and campaign. The monster density on the second half of the campaign has been reduced. I assume this is talking about Act 4 and Interlude. This will make the zone safer to travel, but it will also reduce the amount of EXP you get on that zone. So you have to pay more attention on the EXP. Whether this is good or not is really depending on. I have to try to actually judge it. But the immediate implication, you have to pay attention to your EXP when you're on that zone. The bleed damage on player is no longer increased while player is moving. For people who are new, bleed damage, when you get a bleed and you move, that bleed deal more damage to you. Now it's no longer the case. This is only applied to the bleed damage on player, not the bleed damage to the monster. So if your build is using bleed, it will still function the same. The change is just on the bleed damage on player. And I think this is a good thing because early on the bleed damage is really annoying on the campaign. And this is a change to Leech. I think we already see this on the interview. The Leech now only have one single instance, and every source of instant Leech except for Thirst of Kitava is being removed. So this is a massive implications for a cast on crit build that are using Life Leech as a recovery to cast skills. Not all of them did. Some people does build a cast on crit with cost efficiency on it. I think they are fine with it, but the one that are using Leech to cover the life cost or mana cost, this is the one that they want to remove. So depending on which cast on crit build you do, this can be a nerf or nothing at all. And the next one is the defense keyword now become changed into armor, evasion, energy shield. So it's basically just a description change, so people know that this defense referring to armor, evasion, energy shield. And they also make a new formula for deflections. And to be honest, I'm not really good at math, so I'm not really sure what is the difference between this and the old one. But if any of you guys know math and you can explain this, leave in the comment below. But basically what they claim is this formula which make it a linear path, so it getting more rewarded at higher investment. And parry, shield, blocking, and resonating shield now no longer delay heavy stun buildup from decaying longer than expected. This is good thing if you play in this one. And the next one is Minion are removed to resourcing changing. This is mostly about the weapon swap. It will prioritize the younger Minion than the older one. I don't think this is nerfed to the weapon swap change. If I remember correctly, using this, you basically can kind of refill their life again. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm never using the weapon swap tech for Minion because I just don't like the playstyle. It's very weird. But this is a little bit of change on that department. And the next one is Ascendancy. This is not too big of a deal. Like Agglot of Chayula get extra Leech, like 20% from 15. And Blood Mage get 20% spell damage at Leech as life. Previously it's only 10. And Pathfinder now have 50% less potion durations. Before it's 35, so it's a bit nerf. And then Running Assault, now you only get like 30% less movement speed penalty instead of 50. And the next one is Witch Hunter. Obsessive Ritual now grants 50% less armor and evasion rating, previously is 35. So there's a bit nerf on the Witch Hunter. And there's a lot of rework on Chronomancer and Gemlin Legionnaire. I'm not going to cover it in this video. And if you want to know more about this, I highly recommend check out Circle video about it. He go pretty in depth with it. And the next one is Passive Tree. The first one is Ancestral Bond Keystone. Now basically make your totem have no cost and doesn't require charges to place. And it's still going to reverse 75 spirit. But the totem limit now is double instead of it getting removed completely. So I think this is a good thing. From what I understand, the one thing that make the totem build very clunky is you need the charges to place the totem. So by removing that alone, this will make the totem playstyle easier to play. And the next one is Trusted Kinship. This is a companion keystone. Now it gives 30% more reservations of companion skill and 20% less reservation efficiency of non-companion skill. So this is the downside, and the downside before that he give you 30% less defense, and companion have +1 for each defense. This is now getting removed. So the trusted kinship basically now give you 2 tame beasts of a different type and give you 30% more reservation. The downside, if you have 20% less reservation on non-companion skill, for example like aura or minion that are not companion, that also is a non-companion skill. And the next one is the file pack. The file pack, basically they remove the instant leech part, and they also remove the restriction that you cannot use life loss. And the next one is commanding rage. This is a notable that give you minion attack speed per rage. Previously, it gives you 1% per rage. Now it only gives you 2% minion attack speed per 5 rage. This only going to affect if you play a minion that using rage. I think that is Shaman that are doing this. And the next one is Cunning Fox. This is another pull that gives you quality. It's getting removed and replaced with Quick Fox. And Quick Fox gives you a 20% increase deflection rating while moving. And it also changed the small passive to this node, 20% increase evasion rating while moving. And the next one is fast metabolisms is getting changed. It now gives you 40% increased damage while leeching. Previously, it gives you life leech effect and not removed when unreserved life is filled. This is also a nerf on the custom grip build that are using this to maintain the spell cost. And the next one is the bunch of nerf for energy shield recharge rate and also faster to recharge. There's a bunch of them that are getting nerfed. So basically energy shield right now is getting slower to recharge and that recharge slower. This is a nerf to energy shield, but I think we still have convalescence. So I'm not sure like how impactful this one is, because the big thing about energy shield is you have a crazy amount of them. And this one is instant leech is removed. Like I explained earlier, instant leech is basically removed from the game, except for the Curse of Kitalford, and this is also including the desecrated modifier on Jewel. Instant leech there is also gone. And the next one is skill. And for the skill that have 0 mana cost now, display this cost. And I think this is referring to a skill like Reap. If you played Reap before, if you hover to the Reap, it's not going to show you any mana cost. So I assume that it doesn't have mana cost. But if you have any modifier that increase your cost, Reap actually going to have cost. So this is, I think, is going to show that instead of changing it. I don't think this is a change. This is just visual change, I think. From how I read it. And the next one is all command skill. Now have 50% movement speed penalty. Before it's 70%. So this is a buff for the minion player. For example, like if you're using Archer on the campaign, Archer, the gas arrow part, whenever you cast the gas arrow, usually you slow down pretty bad. Now it become less. And the next one is nerf to Comet. The nerf is like 10%, maybe 20% tops. I think Comet will still deal like crazy amount of DPS, especially the fire infused one, because it's basically double damage. So Comet, I think even with the nerf, is still going to be really, really strong. And the next one is Banner, Defiance, Dread, and War. Now no longer have movement speed penalty, so this is nice, especially for the setup that I'm using for the Twister. And also the radius is bigger, now it's 6 meters instead of 4.5. And the next one is Eternal Rage. This seems like there is a trick where you can use Eternal Rage on the weapon set too. Now it's no longer possible. And the next one is Ghost Dance. Now it's no longer scaled with durations. Now it's scaled with cooldown recovery over here. And the recovery itself is also getting nerfed. Basically now it's only give you 2% of efficient rating instead of 5%. And the next one is Pounce. It's getting nerfed in terms of cooldown from 4 seconds to 5.1. To be honest, I don't really think that this is that big of a deal. Like 1 second cooldown extra is not crazy. So I think Pounce will still be used a lot. And the next one is Snipe. Snipe is getting a bit nerfed, kinda, like the base damage is getting nerfed, but the explosion damage is actually getting buffed. And the IC Blast getting a little bit nerfed on the lower end. At the higher end is basically the same. And also the line that it's set that have 50% more damage, now it becomes 33 to 50% more damage. So I think overall Snipe is still the same. If you're using this on campaign, it's probably still very, very strong. So the next one is Tame Beast. Now have 40% more damage at skill level 9 and 84% at level 20. Now the thing about this is we're not really sure like how much buff the Tame Beast actually get. So because right now basically Companion deal like 0 damage. Like 100% more damage on 0 damage is still 0 damage. So it's remain to be seen if this is actually a big buff to the Companion or not. But at least we got some buff on the Companion. And the next one is Salvo support. I thought it was getting a buff, but apparently not. Previously, Salvo gave you 1 seal every 2 seconds, and the maximum is 3 seal, and it provides 2 projectile per seal. It gives 1 seal every second, up to maximum of 6, and providing 1 projectile per seal. So basically, you still get 6 projectile, and it still takes you 6 seconds to get all the seal. So it's basically the same thing. This one is probably a little bit more consistent. And the next one is Better Vengeance. This is a very, very popular support gems last league. And this basically getting nerfed. Before you get 1% damage as a recall per 1 rage. Now you're only going to have 1% damage as a recall per 2 rage. So basically it's getting half. But considering like how easy to use Better Vengeance, I will think a lot of people are still going to use it. And the next one is Delay Desire. It's getting nerfed. The quality now is provided is 5% instead of 10%. And the next one is the Undoing. This is also a big problem because it changed how the Undoing works. Before, it's going to make the Curse Ground become a hazard. So basically, you cast the Curse Ground can explode. And they basically make it able to cover like a big area. Now they change it where the Curse Ground now created a Witch Toad. Basically a toad that jump around to the enemy and it explode. Now I don't know how good the witch toad is, but from what I see, I don't think it's very good. So it's really depending on like how good the witch toad is. This is also another nerf to cast on crit build because I think a lot of cast on crit build that I use in the Undoing, but the Undoing is not the only trigger skill that you can use with cast on crit. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but it's still a nerf because I think the Undoing is still one of the trigger mechanic that a lot of people like to use because it does cover a big area. The next one is Infernal Legion. The burn damage is half from 20% to 10%. And the Infernal Legion 2 is also going to give your minion 20% fire resistance. Now, the 20% fire resistance is going to matter depending on whether you use minion stability or not. Minion stability will explode the minion when the minion have 50% life. If you use minion stability, then you use Infinite Legion 1. If you do not use the minion stability, then using Infinite Legion 2 is better. And they also fix a bug where the calculation for Infinite Legion will always be critical if you have any amount of critical strike chance. And this is a thing that I think there's some people that are scaling the damage of the Infinite Legion with this. Now it's no longer possible. And next is Living Lightning. It's no longer replace minion when summoning a new one while already at maximum number of minion. And the next one is a big one. Rage 1 to 3, now able to support minion, which means you can put this on River. And River is one of my favorite minion for a skeleton type. So Rage 3, I think give you a lot of rage and also give you a lot of attack speed when you don't have the rage. So I think this one will be good on River. And the next one is Utrecht Augury and Utrecht Omen. Especially now it only gives you +2 level instead of +3. And the last one is Fold. I think this is the support that you use for Lightning Spear. Before it gives you 5% damage as a lightning per 10 full attack charge. You have 30 maximum charge. So it's only give you like 15%. It's not that big, but now it become 1% damage as a lightning per 4 attack charge. So basically now you can get 30% damage as a lightning. So it's a buff, but the downside is you generate the 4 attack charge a little bit slower. Previously you get 3 per meter. Now you get 2 per meter. But I think this is still a buff. And the last section will be on currency. The greater and perfect currency will be somewhat rarer. And transmutation and augment will be significantly rarer. So this currency will be a lot more valuable. So if you get one, you probably want to keep it. And the greater orbs of transmute and greater augment now have a minimum modifier of level 44 instead of 55, which I think is a good thing because at the high end you're going to use the perfect one, not the greater one. But if you're on a campaign, you probably can use the greater one to give you a better odds to get like a good mod on your items. And the next one is Divine Orb is more common. And I don't know how common Divine Orb will be, but this has to do with the next changes which on corruption and sanctifying. And before, whenever you corrupt something and you sanctify something, if you get the option where it's going to change the value, where you can get beyond the value on that range, it's going to randomize the value first, and then it's going to roll again for how much multiplier for that mod. They basically now remove the first part. So now whenever you're corrupting, if you choose that options, it will only give you the modifier. And the implication of this is you have to define your items before you corrupt or sanctify it. Before, you don't have to. You just throw in the corruption and sanctify orb. So this is probably why Divine Orb is more common, because this is a Divine Orb thing. And the next one is Omen of Corruptions. This is a big one. Omen of Corruption can no longer be obtained. So Omen of Corruptions is what you use to guarantee a corruptions to do something. Because every corruptions have a chance to do nothing. So your item basically the same, but it's corrupted. And Omen of Corruption is basically removing that option. So with this, basically every result of corruptions now will be more valuable because it's harder to corrupt things. And one thing that comes to mind immediately is the +1 level on skill gem. So you need more skill gem to get the +1. And the next one is the nerf to the Fire Robe armor base. Now you're only going to have 171 base energy shield. Previously 184. This is a bit of a nerf for energy shield, like in terms of like total energy shield you can get. But once again, we can get like a ridiculous amount of energy shield. So I'm not sure like how big of a nerf is this one. And the next one is they increase the base weapon range for a bunch of weapon like quarterstaff, 200 mace, 100 mace, something like that. And the next one is the confusing one. And the reason why I say confusing because they reduce the plus level for the attack weapon. So from 200, it down from 7 to 5. From 100, it down from 5 to 4. And from the quiver, the +2 level of projectile now become +1. And the essence of battle is also now only give you +3 instead of +5 for the 200. And for the 100, you're only going to get +2. The reason why this is confusing because I cannot find the one that's talk about spell. So I assume spell is still the same for the weapon. I'm not really sure why, but I think this nerf only applied to attack weapon. And also the Vertex helmet, I'm not really writing it here, but Vertex helmet is getting nerfed. Previously you have a corruption option where you can get like up to +4 all level skill. Now it's gone. So maybe that's the reason why they're not nerfing spell. I'm not really sure. But we only see attack weapon on patchnote. And the next one is idols now can be socketed on scepter, like every idol. And this can have quite a lot of implications. We have to see all the list of the idols, but like Royal Cast now it gives you 40% increased armor, evasion, energy shield, while companion is on your presence. And Royal Cast is the idol that you use on helmet usually, because it gives you reservation of minion skills. And Turdana give you ally in present, deal flat chaos damage when you socket it on scepter. Our idol, it gives you 10% cast speed when you socket on scepter. This is a buff from 8. And Primate gives you 40% increased damage when socket on scepter, previously 30. And Rapid now it gives you 15% increased spirit, before it's 10. And the Snake idol, it gives you attack speed, previously 8, now it becomes 10. So it's like a slight buff on the idol for scepter. And the last one is Stack Idol. It have a limit of 1. It gives you projectile have 15% chance to fork when socket in a helmet. The boarded modifier, it gives you 30% chance for additional projectile when forking. This is a change. Previously, it gave Torn crit chance and Torn 40% ignore enemy armor or something like that. So Stack Idol basically getting rework, become this. And the last one is the one that I'm talking before, the secreted modifier granting instant leech, no longer roll. So the instant leech modifier now basically gone. The only one that I cannot find on the patch note that is still on the tree is Thirst of Kitafa, where it gives you instant leech on the empowered attacks. And that is the only one that I can find. So if you know some other source that we can get leeches instant, let me know in the comment. And I think that is the patch note. It's not a super long patch note, but some of them is very fundamental. So Twister is safe. I don't think Twister is going to get nerfed. I think a lot of people kind of overestimate how good Twister is. They probably never played Twister before. Twister have a lot of button and it's a combo playstyle. There is certain clunkiness when you play Twister. It is a very good skill. It's still a very, very good in terms of like clearing. Single target, no, so much is depending on the arena, but that's come with a price, which, like I said before, it's a little bit clunky. You have to use Withering Slash, and you use your Twister, and you have to use something like active arrow, and also barrage, and there's a bunch of key you need to press for Twister. So I don't think it's going to nerf because I don't think it's that OP compared to something like Snipe. Snipe I think is more OP, but even Snipe is not getting nerfed. So Twister is safe. At least for now, we have 7 days. Maybe this happen. Hopefully not. I think that's it from me. Next, I will work on the step-by-step leveling guide for Twister. And thank you everyone for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one.